here, Reen.
And thank you for coming by. Guess you're all done with work?
Yep, the other student council members said they don't mind splitting what's left between themselves. I wanted to stay longer, but it was hard for me to say no after they insisted I take the rest of the night off.
Can't blame them there. You've always been a workaholic.
Sure is nice being back in here. I mean, I never lived with you guys, but I would drop by all the time to deliver.
And you always had to do it so early in the morning, too. I can't count how many times you went out of your way for me. Well, while we're here, how about I give you a tour? I'm curious how things are upstairs, too.
Why not? So, that was the room Crow lived in for the 2.5 months he was here, huh? He lived with the rest of us in our dorm before that, but he seemed to have way more fun with all of you. I was a little jealous of him, to be honest.
Really?
If Crow was going to come back anywhere in Trista, it'd be here. What with how it connects all of you, and even me, Angie, and George, I doubt there's anywhere in Erebbonia he'd rather be.
Yeah, you're right. I doubt he feels like he belongs while he's with the Alliance anyway. Which is why I fully intend to honor my promise to drag him back here.
And I can't wait to see him graduate. It really is amazing just how dependable you've become. When I first met you, I had no idea I would end up relying on you so much. Even after, I never thought you could handle it all.
I suppose we both had weird first impressions of each other, didn't we? I'm not proud of it, but I totally didn't believe you were a second year when we first met. That being said, you were quick to prove me wrong. You're so capable and reliable.
Thanks. But there's something I want you to remember, Reen.
Like?
I really do think you're amazing. And not just because of all you did at the academy. You were chosen by Valimar. And you've gone through all kinds of scary experiences as a result. You've made a difference to the lives of so many, and you're surrounded by people who see you as their leader. But no matter what happens, no matter what you're up against, I don't want you to forget that you're only human like the rest of us. I don't really believe there are natural-born heroes out there who are superior to everyone else. And I don't think you're an exception. So don't feel like you have to shoulder everyone's problems by yourself. We're all here with you if you need us. There's no shame in asking for help or relying on others if you need to, okay?
Wow, thank you for saying that. Really, talking to you gives me a sense of ease in a way nothing else can. You're always willing to accept people for who they are, strengths, flaws, and all.
I don't know about that.
It was only because you were there to support me that I was able to start accepting myself for who I really am. That I was able to try and keep moving forward as I am instead of losing faith in myself. So, thank you for everything.
I'm happy to hear you say that. It's weird. Now more than ever, I feel so glad I was able to become Thor's student council president. If I hadn't, I might have never met you. And I doubt I would have ever started feeling like this.
Like?
Reen, can you kneel down for a minute?
Huh?
Don't worry. I'm sure everything will work out just fine. We might not be heroes, but that's all the more reason we'll see this through to the end without giving up. And we'll do it without losing a single one of us along the way.
Right.
Finally. Sorry if I kept you waiting.
Not at all. I think I actually showed up a little early. Finally had enough booze for the night, I take it?
Yeah, had enough of the bad company too, so I managed to skedaddle. I figure the others should be able to handle things over at the academy. Just standing here really does bring the memories flooding back, doesn't it? For as long as we spent here, it feels like we've been away even longer. But I'm glad you made good on your word and took it back from the Alliance.
So am I. And I know I couldn't have done it without you. Say, while we're here, why don't we take a little stroll through the place? I'm feeling the itch to see if everything upstairs is like we left it.
It's a date. A shame Crow isn't back with us like old times, huh? In a way, he hasn't changed a bit since his first day.
Oh, yeah. You helped out with the Arcus trials they all did last year, didn't you?
Yep, we sent him all over the country, just like we did with you guys during your field studies. Sometimes, I can't help but wonder that if I'd noticed something was off with Crow back then, we all could have been spared a lot of heartache. I've known him even longer than you guys have. Heck, I was his teacher. I guess I keep thinking maybe there was something I could have done.
It's not your fault. Crow's planning was meticulous. He'd been setting it up for years. He would have gone through with it either way. But I'm not going to sit back and let that be that. I'll face him down, beat him, and bring him back. He'll be back where he belongs, with us. And you'll be there with us too.
Yeah? I know you'll do everything you can. If anyone can bring Crow back, it's you guys. It's been almost 2 years since I traded in my bracer badge for the whole teacher shtick. But there's never been a day when I regretted making the switch.
Likewise. We couldn't have ended up with a better homeroom teacher. Your methods seemed really bizarre at first, but when I look back, everything you did prepared us for what was to come.
Thanks. It makes me happy to hear that. I'd like to think that you all learned a lot from me, but over the past year, I've learned plenty from you guys too. Things I never learned pounding the battlefield as a Jaeger or during my time with the bracers. But whatever the future holds for me, I know the time I spent here will help guide me in whatever I end up doing next.
Wait, whatever the future holds? You're not thinking of...
I don't even know anymore. No matter which side comes out on top in this war, the Empire's never going to be the same again. When it's all over, should I stay on as an instructor here? Should I go back to being a bracer? Or branch out into something new? All I know is that I want to be able to support you guys in whatever you decide to work towards, as much as I can. Just how I'm going to do that, I don't really know yet. I'm hoping that fighting through the battle ahead of us brings me an answer.
You really are amazing. You know that? No matter how fast we grow, you're always a step ahead of us, pushing forward into the unknown to show us the way. I'm never gonna be able to measure up to you, am I?
What do you mean?
You're experienced, reliable, always ahead of us, just out of reach, but guiding us forward. You're strict sometimes, but you're always compassionate, and you bury your weaknesses deep down to be someone we can rely on. And somewhere along the way, I started to hope that one day I'll be able to finally catch up to you, so that we can think of each other as peers, as something more than just teacher and student.
Oh,
As things stand, I'm still a long way from being there. When this war is behind us, and life slows back down to its normal pace, there'll come a day when I graduate from Thor's and head out into the world as a real man. When that day comes, I want to be there for you, in some way, as your equal.
oh my. Well, you're just full of surprises tonight, aren't you? With all that's been going on, I never realized you felt that way about me. You can be pretty daring sometimes, you know that? I'm sure you're well aware that I go for the classy, mature gentleman type and not students, though.
Yeah, but we're looking toward the future, right? Students grow up. Boys become men. Sure, I might not look the part now, but one day I'll be a dashing, handsome gent who can turn even your head.
All right, then. I want you to close your eyes. In fact, I'm making it a formal assignment. No peeking.
Why?
Shh, no questions. Good students are supposed to listen to their teachers.
Well, if you say so.
Just think of that as a little appetizer. In a couple of years, if you're still hungry for the main course, come and find me. I'll make it worth the chase. Still, there's no need to rush. I'm willing to wait, if you are.
Thanks.
So this is what it looks like on the inside.
Oh, hello. Welcome to our dormitory. Did you finish talking to the principal?
That's right. We sorted out all the arrangements for tomorrow. I had the delightful opportunity to enjoy the Academy atmosphere on the way here as well. If there are ever any other festivals or the like here, I'll have to try and come back by myself to see them. So this is where you and your classmates spent so much of your time. I almost feel as if I shouldn't be here. Like I've stepped into Class 7's private little world.
Oh, not at all. You're very welcome here. So, how would you like me to show you around the building? I'm curious how things are upstairs now, too.
Well, if you're offering, then let the tour begin. So that was once Crow's room. His room was opposite to yours then?
Yeah, he only lived there for a couple months, but I can't picture anyone else being there. It was pretty handy having him so close by too, especially when we were making plans for the festival. We could just wander into each other's rooms anytime we needed something.
You two must have trusted one another so deeply. And that makes the fact you two have to fight one another all the more depressing. Why must it be that way? Well, just know that while I may not be able to come with you...
I appreciate that. Don't worry, Your Highness. I fully intend to win against him and bring him right back here. I mean, we've got you on our side. How could we possibly lose?
Oh, Reen, you're such a tease. Besides, I'm hardly the lovely, kind-hearted girl you think I am.
Pardon?
At first, I was acting as a substitute for Elise because she couldn't be near you herself. I thought, if she couldn't support you, I would try to do so in her place. And before I knew it, I found myself learning things about you that even she didn't know. And the more I learned, the guiltier I felt. Guilty because knowing things she didn't made me feel, well, really happy.
Oh, I had no idea.
And as if that weren't awful enough, I found myself wanting to know more and more. What right do I have to call Elise my best friend when I feel this way?
I'm honored to hear that. You needn't think it was one-sided, Your Highness. I was happy to learn more about you through all of this, too.
You were?
I've learned how much of a prankster you can be, how hard you work for the people of your country, how smart you are. I see you always conducting yourself with dignity and pride, and I've also seen just how much you care for everyone around you. I'd be careful that one other interest of yours doesn't get out of hand, though.
This simply isn't fair! It's like I'm the only one getting worked up here while you just play everything off, cool as a cucumber! Well, whatever happens, it's all on you! I take no responsibility! When we find Elise, I'm gonna tell her everything, and we'll talk it through. All night if need be. Oh, perhaps working together as a team might not be such a bad idea.
Why am I suddenly filled with an overwhelming sense of dread?
Anyway, none of this even matters if you don't come back alive tomorrow. So you have to, alright? With Elise, of course. Promise?
I wouldn't dream of doing otherwise. The two of us will be back before you know it. So wait a little longer, okay?
I can't wait.